So for working capital, we cannot say what is this is the absolute amount. This is the absolute amount. So there is nothing like ratio which is ideal. So depending upon the business circumstances, your reputation, your aggressiveness, the market condition, that will determine how much working capital you require. Determining financing mix. Financing mix is the choice of sources of financing of current asset. So from where the current asset will be raised, short term and long term. These are the short term: trade credit. There is implied cost. There is no explicit cost. Bill discounting. There is explicit cost. Intercorporate deposit. Public deposit. Commercial paper. Factoring. Factoring is like bill discounting. Public deposit and commercial paper only apply to the limited companies. Now these are the few approaches: hedging approach, conservative approach, and trade-off between the above mentioned two approaches. Hedging approach is the process of matching maturity of debt with the maturity of financial needs. It is conservative. According to hedging approach, the permanent portion of funds required should be financed with long-term funds and the seasonal portion with the short-term fund. Under this approach, working capital is equal to 0 since current assets are not financed by long-term funds. Conservatism approach, on the opposite, is strategy by which the firm finances all funds requirement with the long-term funds and uses short-term fund for emergencies or unexpected cash flow. Okay. So request from Abhinav, explain hedging again. This is the process of matching maturity of debt with the maturity of financial needs. According to hedging approach, the permanent portion of fund should be financed with long-term funds and the seasonal fund, a seasonal portion with the. So if you look at the working capital graph, it fluctuates, So this is time, this is working capital. It generally fluctuates like this. So this is financed by long-term fund. This seasonal demand is from short-term fund, credit, working capital, etc. So this is an assumption that working capital is fluctuating. It is also possible that working capital always increase because your turnover increase, it may increase like this. So factors determining amount of working capital, that begins from cash, purchasing raw material, purchase resource, inventory conversion. So first you convert into your finished product, payment for purchase resource, payable period, how much long your operating cycle is, selling product, the credit period, receiving cash, receivable conversion period, cash conversion period. So these 6 or 7 are the major components which determine your requirement of working capital. Question from Praveen. Software companies is doing rupee hedging. Okay, actually the word hedging is frequently many type of circumstances used. So hedging is a protection technique, or it is like an insurance. If I feel that possibly the price of rupee will go down or go up, and depending upon whether I have to pay or receive, I take protection or insurance. So hedging is a protection technique to reduce or mitigate my risk. Say for example, I have to pay $1 lakh 1 year later. The current price we assume 40 rupees. If it goes to 50 rupees, I have to pay 50 lakhs rather than 40 lakhs. And therefore, that risk I hedge. And for that, I have to pay hedging commission to the hedgers. So here I am losing one thing. I have to pay hedging commission, that is sure. On the contrary, it is possible that 40 rupees may reduce to 38 rupees also. In that case, we cannot exactly ascertain whether there will be benefit or not. Depending upon the trend, we have to protect ourselves. So hedging is a process of taking insurance or a protection. So ultimately, as we have seen, the length of conversion of any cycle, purchase, work in process, finished goods, if you reduce that cycle, you will require less working capital. This we have already seen: controllable cost, who can control, when can control, and what is the cost of control. Engineered costs are the cost for which a proper estimate can be made. Discretionary costs are within our authority whether to incur or not. They are the program cost, managed cost, and within the discretionary power of the manager. So it is more controllable. Committed costs are the binding cost. We have a commitment by an agreement or law. It is beyond our control because it is natural, either it is incidental or it is by way of agreement. So ultimately, in the organization, in long run, the goal congruence is very important. Once we have referred the word corporate governance, so those persons who are working in the organization may have personal goal, personal interest, and there may be interest of the organization. Similarly, there may be interest of person, corporation and society. So to harmonize this interest, goal congruence is the base of success of an industry. So we are closing the today's session as well as all session. If you have any question, you can ask me on email before the exam or after the exam. So whenever you send me an email, you write in the subject line PGCPM for student. So I will reply your question anytime. Wish you all the best for the examination and wish you happy Diwali. With this note, let us depart. Good night.